Griffon Sports Insider is presented by Mosaic Life Care. A big show this week. Soccer enters the postseason, and basketball tips off in the Big 12. Is that right? It is right.
Is it basketball season already?
Just
can't wait. Those stories in a bit. We begin with football. Missouri Western back in St. Joe for its home finale with Nebraska Kearney.
Yeah, the Lopers enter Saturday at 2-7. The Griffons enter Saturday at 5-4 after an ugly loss at the house of their rival last week. Let's take a look back. Week 9 takes us to Maryville. The last time Missouri Western football stepped foot in Bearcat Stadium, they were leaving with the MIAA championship. That was 2012. This is 2014, and this is a much different story. Northwest dominated this game from start to finish. Bearcats took the lead on a pick six 3 minutes in. Early second quarter, they take complete control. Quarterback Brady Bowles on the keeper. Great second effort to find the end zone. Bearcats go up 20-0. Later trying to expand the lead, but Bowles picked off by the Griffons' Mark Harrison. Harrison returns it 31 yards into Bearcat territory. That would lead to a John Schmiemeyer 48-yard field goal attempt. It is money. Griffons get on the board. That's all the points they could muster. Skylar Windmiller under attack the entire game. The Griffons managed just one first down and just 15 yards of offense in the first half. They go to the break down 27-3 second half. The Bearcats running wild, literally. They rushed for 397 yards on the day. They hold the Griffons to just 78 total yards of offense on the day. That is an all-time low in the Jerry Partridge era. The Griffons fall 40-3 the final. It's their most lopsided loss in 4 years. They fall to 5-4 on the season.
We were all on the same page, and it showed. A lot of plays that some guys just weren't looking and getting the call, and it really showed in how we were playing.
You know, you can sit there and say, well, you gave up 496 is because the offense was only getting 78, and you only got 78 because the defense was getting 496. It's both. They're feeding off each other. Both sides of the ball were equally poor today, and you know, we got to own it. That's what it is.
The stuff that could be said is we're past that. We're way too far in the season. It's just a fact of doing it and doing what we're told from a player standpoint, which is as far as like we got to listen and put out the maximum amount of effort and just things of that sort. But we're past the point of being told. We just have to come out and play better.
It's not just about the scoreboard. It's how we want our seniors to go out, how we want our team to go out, and how we are going to prepare for next season. That's going to show out in the next couple of weeks, how we prepare and how we execute the game. And I'll tell you right now, we'll work as hard as we can for these seniors, work as hard as we can for our pride and for our family, because that's what we are. Even after this loss, we're still a family.
And joining us now, head coach Jerry Partridge. We heard from Yami Ali there. Just basically, when you ask at this time, circle the wagons. Very mature response from one of your junior captains, and that's kind of what's needed right now at this point, isn't it? With 2 games to go and still, you know, a chance to play for a winning record. But this is a team that struggled. They need to kind of figure it out a little bit, don't they?
No doubt. I mean, you know, the sad thing is we've been playing so well. Early in the year, we had some growing pains, and we got beat by a good Pittsburgh State football team with a very good defense. And I thought we played a good football game, and just to be playing to where we played in Hayes and in Topeka, to come out and really give one away, and then this last week just get totally whipped. And I think we're ready to play. I don't think we're flat. I don't think we're scared. Didn't start right, and it steamrolled against a great football team, and disappointing. And so now that's your only option. And we can still have a salvageable 7-4 record, you know, and we're still 5th in the league. We're in the upper half, and we can do some things. But the key thing is to say, hey, you know, we're going to rally the troops, we're going to circle the wagons, and not give lip service to it. You got to do it. You got to do it, and you got to put it in. And I think there are some, like the Yami Ali, there's no doubt. He's going to play hard, and we're going to get his best, and there's certain groups that are going to put. We got some groups that they got to step in and do it. And every group has to do it, every position group, every unit, and everybody's got to do it. And if we do it, we're going to win some ball games. We're going to win both of them. But it's going to be hard if we don't.
Well, certainly last Saturday we could sit here and talk about it, but it was what it was. What do you take away from that game? Anything? You take away anything from that game moving forward?
We got to get better. That's the first thing, I think. But they got a good football team, and They've got it severely rolling. It's a full head of steam going down a hill, and 2 years ago we kind of routed it off a little bit. We've let them get back on top of us, and now we've got to figure out a way to get it changed. And
Well, senior day this week. You got 2 games left. This will be the final game in Spratt Stadium this year, and you say goodbye to 12 seniors, and boy, Steven Juergens, Scott Groner, John Schmiemeyer, the list goes on and on. Those guys have been a part of a lot of wins. Just talk about this senior class.
Well, like you said, they've been a part of a lot of wins. They've been a part of, a deeper run of playoffs, conference championship. A lot of those kids have played a lot of football. The Juergenses, the Mark Harrisons, Meshach Kinney's always had a very good role. Scott Groner, John Schmiemeyer off and on's played, and Dom Thomas had a nice role. But there's 2 seniors that really stick out to me. They're playing their very best football of their career. Meshach Kinney has been a spot starter throughout his career, but Meshach's it's what having a good senior year is all about. He's really having a great senior. He's tackling well. He got his first pick Saturday in Maryville, and it's what needed to happen. It had to be a deflection that drops like a can falling off a shelf for Shaq to catch it. But I told him it's coming. You're going to get a pick, and it happened for him finally. And I think we can all remember in Arkansas in the playoffs, ball hitting him right in the face mask on the goal line. And Steven Juergens is playing in a first-team all-conference.
Playing unbelievable right now.
He's playing terrific, and he just never quit. He won't quit, and we need Steven's leadership. And there's nobody on our football team that'll mess with Steven Juergens. If he challenges anybody, I don't care how big you are, no one's taking on Juergens. So I've challenged him Sunday. I said, hey, you gotta help me lead this thing. Let's get this thing going.
And speaking of that, coming in against Nebraska Kearney, final home game. Kearney is struggled mightily this year, 2-7 record. They've struggled in basically all facets of the game. What's it going to take, in your mind, what you've seen from them to get back on track?
Well, they've actually, Ryan, the record's 2-7, but the last 4 weeks has been more positive. They've lost to Hayes by 7. And Hayes
had to come back to beat them.
Yeah,
Hayes is a quality team, yes.
Yep. And then they in the jungle they only got beat by 16, which that's impressive. And then they won blowouts against Leonardwood and Northeastern. So the last 4 weeks have been playing better. Their quarterback is tough. I mean, he's an elusive runner. He throws adequately enough to keep you honest, but you can't get a shot on him. He breaks tackles. He makes you miss.
We saw his tricks last year.
We saw his whole bag of tricks last year, and he's doing it again. He's rushed for over 900 yards, and stopping him is going to be key. They got some backs. They got a nice O-line, too. They got one of the better O-lines in the league. So they're not getting a lot of points. They haven't stopped people very well, but last year they went to a radar defense against us. They gave us – we were up big, and they went to radar, and they gave us some troubles a little bit. We fake a punt, and then we kind of change it. I promise you we're going to get a fake punt against us. They're going to try it because we did it last year, and they're going to take it personal and try to do it against us. And they fake a lot of punts. They did twice in one game against Northwest successfully. So we're going to get the kitchen sink from them, that's for sure, and we got to play well to win the game.
Well, the other thing that gets the kitchen sink is Easley's Tantalizing Trio. It's one of the favorites for everybody. You know what our vegetable is this week? It's late fall. We're featuring succotash. Peas and corn and lima beans and a nice good fall blend mix. What you think? One of your favorites, is it not?
Is that what that succotash is at?
I think it is.
I hate this segment so much.
Well, let's get right down to business then. Coach P,
succotash.
We just left the holiday that kicks off the holiday season. I'm curious. It's one of my favorites, right? I'm curious. If you were to wear a Halloween costume this year, what would it be?
Oh, I don't wear Halloween costumes. So there you go.
What a win is George Brett.
Billy Butler.
Billy Butler. I like it. One word to describe this senior class.
Solid. I mean, just the very good humans and likable and solid. I gave a couple words there.
It's about 24 words, actually. I count. That's okay. I like that. And finally, again, had to have a Royals question to wrap up the year. Better contract, and they're probably not going to give either one. $12 million to Butler or $15.4 to James Shields. If you could give it to one and wanted to give it to one, which one would you give it to?
I love Billy, but I think you'd have to go with Shields.
I would agree with that.
None of the above.
He says,
go for Max Scherzer, right?
Can't get Max Scherzer.
Can't afford him.
Cardinals can get Max Scherzer. Why don't they spend on him? He's from St. Louis. He should go there.
Yeah, you're right. He should. He may. Really good fans there.
Money's no object in St. Louis.
The best fans, the most knowledgeable fans in all of baseball. That's proven year in and year out.
It's completely proven. This has been an interesting segment.
It has been.
Thank you.
It's been our last home game of the year.
Jerry Partridge is one of the best sports and is one of the driest, funniest human beings. This is the only credit I'll ever give you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, give credit where credit is due, would you?
Yes, I will always give credit where credit is due. It's always a lot more fun, too, when the camera's off, but we can't ever show that part. But it's okay.
No.
Yeah, we're getting way off.
It's probably better that we don't,
Let's just see you versus Nebraska Kearney. We'll get you back on camera, and all will be well with the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Be great.
That's Jerry Partridge. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
the jungle. Ain't no God on my streets, in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
Basketball season right around the corner. Fans got a glimpse of the 2014-15 Missouri Western basketball teams last week at the 11th annual Hoops Tip-Off Party. Welcome back. Basketball season begins unofficially this week as the Griffon men step into Big 12 country. They'll take on Oklahoma State in exhibition play this Saturday at 2 p.m.
And Coach Weiberg, an Oklahoma native, has ties, has connections, got that game done. So the Griffons coming off a 10-18 record a season ago. And we will see a retooled roster in year 2 of the Weiberg era at Missouri Western. 3 senior starters return, 7 players return in total, and 6 newcomers. The returners led by All-MIAA point guard Ryan Devers, but beyond that, the roster built with many new and young faces.
We got people from all over the country. I mean, we got people from Canada, California with Wes. I'm from Houston. We got Iowa guys. Well, we got people from all over, so I mean, it sort of helped bring us together because we're all from different walks of life.
I like our team.
You can see it. You can see it on the court. We trust each other, and we've grown to love each other, I feel like.
Really diverse team. We have people who can shoot the ball, people who can drive the ball. We got bigs. We got really everything at every position. I think we can compete.
Ryan and Trez played a lot, and Hans Thun played a lot. So you have Ryan Devers, honorable mention all-league guy, and there's no reason he can't improve upon that. A couple transfers, Aaron Emanuel and Kevin Thomas, both those guys are going to see significant playing time. We have 4 freshmen, and then sometimes there's going to be 1 or 2 freshmen on the floor. It's as simple as that.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready for the competition. I've been working my whole life for this.
And I think this team's going to have some toughness about it.
I see a lot of changes with our effort on defense. We're competing a lot harder. I really think it's going to be the difference maker this year on winning games.
We want to be physical. We want to have an inside presence. And certainly we want to be physical defending in the interior. We'll push it when we can.
So I think we're going to be a fast-paced team. Get out the people, force turnovers, get on a fast break as much as we can.
Me and those seniors have been through the league, and the respect for the league's there.
You have to play every night. You can't take no games off, not even possession, or it can cost you the game.
For me and most of those players involved, it was one of probably the most difficult seasons of our career last year. So you learn about yourself and how you handle adversity and how you handle not having the success that you want to have. And I think if anything, it just drives you to try to be better.
I want to win. That's about it.
We're definitely expecting to win basketball games, no question. And really what we're focused on right now is what we can do today to ensure that happens.
We'll see the new-look Griffons at Oklahoma State again this Saturday at 2 p.m. It's the first time ever meeting between Griffons and Cowboys.
Well, we'll look forward to that. Speaking of the first time ever, Griffon soccer enters postseason play this Wednesday. They are the number 6 seed in the MIAA Conference Tournament, and they travel to 3rd-seeded Fort Hays State. It has been a year of firsts for Coach Chad Edwards and company. His team reached new heights in 2014, setting or tying 12 different school records this season. The Griffons take their 9-8-1 record into Hays and will try to secure their first winning season in school history with a win on Wednesday.
The kids are confident, and they obviously are super excited to be a part of this postseason. That's a main goal we have every year. And to get there and to be able to experience this is going to be awesome for the players, and I can't wait to get out to Hays. We'll be organized and we'll be ready to go, no doubt about it. Now it's just a matter of executing, and if we execute better than they do, we'll win the game.
Well, win or lose Wednesday, the program has already sent its 4 seniors out in style.
At KC Ramsell, Tara Russell, A.J. Powers have played key roles in that turnaround, but fellow senior Teddy Cerna has had to watch this record season unfold from the sidelines. Cerna, a 4-year starter for the Griffons until a knee injury in September ended her season and effectively her career. She was back on the field one final time on senior night last Friday, and this is really neat. Cerna, who just got off crutches, got the honorary start on senior night. She got the opening touch and then came off the field. A very, very emotional night for her. She's still been a huge part of this run this year from the bench.
It's so hard. Like, I've been really emotional about it, but I mean, either way, I'm still part of the team, and you know, I do get to sit there and see them do well. So it's just, no matter how upset I am, I still have to support the team as well. And I know that they're out there playing for me and Bailey. So I think it's tough, but I'm gonna make it.
If change never happened, how would life take flight? How would our days unfold? At Heartland Health, we believe change can be beautiful. That's why we're changing our name to offer you even better care. Care that keeps up with the changes in your life and the moments that matter most. Heartland Health is becoming Mosaic Life Care. It's more than health care, it's life care. Visit us online to learn more.
Griffon Volleyball reaching incredible new heights this season. Their record now 20-6 overall, 13-4 in the MIAA. That's good enough for second place in the conference. Final home matches this weekend: Friday night versus Fort Hays, Saturday night versus Nebraska Kearney. And joining us now, making her GSI on-set debut. You know, that's
in
right.
The flesh. She's
in
here.
The flesh.
Right here in the
Carbon.
flesh.
I know you're always excited. This is like your favorite time of the year. Even when you have 20 wins in volleyball, this is still tops everything, right? Being on GSI.
Of course. Yeah,
of course.
with you guys.
It
yes.
would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least with you.
You know, you talked last week in a segment that we taped about, quote, this team is not necessarily built on talent, it's built on chemistry, end quote. You're pretty talented too right now. I mean, you cannot sell that short. I mean, everybody, you're just so deep. Everybody's good, and that's why you get 20 wins.
Yeah, I actually watched that video and cringed a little bit because I was like, I hope my girls don't take it, my team doesn't take that the wrong way. You know, we are incredibly talented, but we built the program, we built to this point around our chemistry first, and then, you know, brought in really talented players that we knew over time would develop into the players they are today. But initially it was chemistry. And so we did talk about that a little bit on Monday, made sure that they knew what I was referring to, and yeah, we were good.
Well, you're good. You're good on paper statistically as well. First place in hitting percentage. And you've got Erica Rottinghouse. You've got Jessie Thorpe. You've got Kelsey Owen. You've got good middles. You've got good depth. And when you have that, that's a perfect storm to have a good season.
Yeah, and the one player actually that you didn't mention that kind of brings it all together is Jordan Shohan. Yep. And she hasn't really gotten the credit necessarily that she deserves because her statistical line isn't all that fabulous. She just gets assists and that's it.
No one's gotten all the credit they deserve this year because the stats are so spread out, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, and it's a good thing. You want your team to be balanced, and I think it'll serve us well as we, you know, hopefully head into postseason play. But it makes us difficult to defend. You know, you're going to have to block us really well because we've got so many great hitters. You're going to have to serve us tough because if we're in system and we've got 3 hitters that we can set at any time, there's no way you can defend all of them. And so, yeah, it does make us dangerous.
Marion, if I would have told you back in August with 4 games to go that you, in a sense, still control your own destiny. Again, tough loss last weekend to Pitt State, but knowing you win the final 4 games and you could at least share the conference title, just talk about that. What does that feel like?
It's pretty special, you know. It's kind of funny. Greg Carbon, my husband, our strength and conditioning coach, has a 5-way MIAA football championship to his name, and I always give him grief about that. But I'd love a 3-way or 4-way share of the conference championship this year, so I guess I have to stop giving him grief about that. But you know, it's pretty incredible. I think, you know, last year a lot of people told us we had a great season, and now, you know, at the time I was telling them, no, we had a good season.
You were mad. You were not happy hearing that. They were 16-15 last year, first winning season in a long time. You hated hearing great season.
Yeah, because this is the expectation of greatness, is to compete for conference championships, to compete to go to the postseason every year. That's our expectation of greatness, and that's what we want to be measured by every single year. So to be in that position, we're having a great season.
You mentioned Greg Carbon, the strength and conditioning coach, who's also your husband, Missouri Western alumni, both of you. We've covered that story. But you notice your volleyball team's kind of bigger and stronger this year. Probably not a coincidence, but is there extra pressure on the hubby from you to say, get these girls in shape?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he puts a lot of it on himself.
Find him to say that,
I
right?
think.
You don't have to tell him. I think he
No,
knows.
yeah. But I think also, too, my team, of course, has a special place in his heart. I don't think that's a surprise to any of the other coaches, probably. But, I mean, he literally will spend hours poring over every team's workouts just to get it done. And, you know, a lot of times when I do interviews, I don't give him credit because it seems kind of trite coming from me because I'm his wife. But he has played a big role in our success. There's no doubt the girls would tell you that in a heartbeat.
And especially probably over the last month. I bet there hasn't been a week gone by that people have said, when are we going to get ranked in the national poll? Well, as we know, in Division II, it's not really the ranking in the national poll. It's the ranking in the regional poll. Came out last week. We came in at 8. The top 8 teams make it, but in this region, if a school doesn't have somebody from their league in it, like the Great American Conference does, they're going to get an automatic bid. Well, that's the case. So if it started at 8, we wouldn't be in. For the season that you've had, and for as good as this region is, my goodness, that just speaks to how tough it is to get there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. And we've got to get some more quality wins, I think, to be in it. And I think that means we've got to go beat Kearney and Central Missouri when we play them in the next couple of weeks. But I think all along, you know, when we talked at the very beginning of the year, the number we kind of set as a coaching staff that we thought could get us into regionals was 24-6. That we could have 6 losses and feel like we still would get in. And so now we put ourselves in a position where we got to win out. But again, I still think that 24-6 will get us there. And it didn't 2 weeks ago, or it didn't last week, but that's not the final poll. And we get these 2 big wins, I think we'll be there.
I'll tell you the other thing that people really want. They want Easley's tantalizing trio. Your first shot at
challenge.
that now.
First
it is
shot
a
of the year.
challenge.
I know you're
obviously
excited about
this
that.
is the,
I like this segment.
This is the mid-fall,
you're one of the
late fall
2.
edition. No, there's 3 people that like it that I know of. And you know what the dessert is? It's pumpkin spice cake.
Great.
It's that time of year.
Okay.
It's always pumpkin.
So Marion, you were commenting some things I was scribbling down that you couldn't read. Well, they were actually your questions. My question for you, you know, we just left the holiday that really kicks off the holiday season, which is Halloween. I'm curious, you didn't wear a costume this year, but if you would have, what would your Halloween costume have been?
Actually, the girls and I were joking because I tell them a story about a costume I had when I was younger. My mom dressed me up as a bunch of grapes. And so it was just purple balloons attached all over me. They were just purple balloons attached all over me. It was the probably, you know, lowest.
It's cheap, efficient, but creative.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, at our game over the weekend at SBU, a college student walked in as a bunch of grapes. And so the girls just, of course, started laughing. Lindsay Partridge points to me. She goes, "Coach, she has your costume on." And so that's probably my most memorable. I don't know what I would go as now. When I was teaching at high school math, I would always go dressed as a high school PE teacher so I could wear sweats to school.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now you can just go as a volleyball coach and wear sweats.
Every day.
Okay, along those lines, other than Charlie Brown getting the rock, you go to the door and trick or treat. What's your favorite candy? What are you hoping to get?
Anything chocolate that doesn't necessarily have peanuts in it.
Okay, there you
Kit
go.
Kat, Twix.
My son wouldn't like that either. He's allergic to them. So
Yeah, Kit Kat or Twix, something like that.
Okay, and finally, let's really get down to business here.
We're really getting down to business because those first 2 weren't down to business.
Right now, one word to describe your team.
Oh, hungry.
See, we got down to business. I like that.
Hungry
Along the lines
still.
of candy and winning and everything. Let's do some more winning.
It all fit
Let's
well.
do it.
Marion
Absolutely.
Carbon,
Thanks,
thank you very
guys.
much for
Thanks
joining
for
us.
having me.
Weekend. They got Fort Hays on Friday night, 7 o'clock, and then Nebraska Kearney battle for first place Saturday night at 7 o'clock. We'll see you there. We'll see 2
be there.
wins. That'll be good.
Yes.
We'll be
Great.
We'll be right back.
Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on my streets, in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
And welcome back. Time now for the Mosaic Life Care Minute.
Got time for the final part of a 5-part series, our concussions.
Once you've completed the 5-step return to play protocol and you've retaken the impact test and it's still at baseline, then you follow up with your physician. They will repeat the initial physical exam, make sure everything is back to normal. At that time, they will clear you to go back to full participation.
It took me, I think, about 2.5 to 3 months or something like that to fully recover.
It took me 6 weeks to recover fully.
It was a long road. It was a long journey coming back. It was about right at a year until I could get cleared, and just listening to Kate, doing the right things right, and just being dedicated got me back to the game that I love, playing football.
In conclusion, players should report all symptoms to medical staff promptly. If a student athlete is suspected of having a concussion, the player should be removed from a game or practice and should not return on the same day. Players diagnosed with concussion should not return to play unless they have written clearance from a healthcare professional that is trained in the evaluation and management in concussion.
Our number one goal as healthcare providers who care for young athletes is to look out for their safety.
I truly believe that the different things that I did helped me and helped my recovery and getting back on the football field.
Well, another Pink Week is in the books. Missouri Western Athletics raised more than $1,800 during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Griffon Baseball always does that ceremony right with its annual Pink Out game. The Griffons honor family members of players who are breast cancer survivors, but this year's Pink game went beyond that. This is senior Griffon baseball player Will Carter. Will was diagnosed with testicular cancer this past summer. He is on the road to recovery and got to throw out the honorary first pitch to his dad.
I've dealt with this for a couple months now, and it's been difficult, but being out here today has really reminded me of how sweet life is, and it's just a blessing to be out here.
We talked about it the day he found out he had to have the second surgery, which was a much more invasive surgery. We knew the recovery was going to be longer, and he asked me to, we were down at my mother's, and he wanted to go talk with just him and I was upset, and I was upset, and I said, there may be I totally believe there's going to be a day in March when we're down at Missouri Western and you're walking on the field playing baseball. And I said, I absolutely believe that. And I think him chasing the baseball dream to its last year has helped him with his recovery and helped him with a positive outlook. So.
In my head, I wanted to show everybody that I can do this. I want to work so hard from here to the next opportunity with this team. I really can't put it into words. I want so bad to prove that I'm all right.
We're going to be there for him, and I think he can do it. He's got the will to do it. That's the way Will Carter is, and we know it's going to be a battle, but we know he's up for it.
Will has undergone multiple surgeries already. He thinks they're past that part and still a long, hard road to go. But his goal is to get back on the field this spring. Again, that's going to be a very hard goal to attain, but Will would like to get back, and we would definitely like to see him back.
I'd love to see him back, and like you said, hard fight for not only him, but anybody that has to go through that. But a neat goal, and it'll be here before you know it this spring.
Yep, and we will end our show that way. That is GSI for this week. We'll see you back here next week, same time, same channel.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, go Griffs!